Hi everyone, I wanted to do a quick little card making segment for you. It's one that I wanted to do on Scrap It TV, but we've just had so many great presenters we ran out of time. So I've got a few ingredients here and I'm going to show you a mini card bonanza. Here are the ingredients we're going to be using today. I've got my trimmer, self-healing mat, 3 sheets of white A4 cardstock. I have a scrap of pink basil cardstock. I've got these gorgeous word strips from Darkroom Door. This one's from the Full Bloom collection. Saves heaps of time stamping or printing your greetings. I have 1 sheet of pattern paper pulled out of my stash, bone folder adhesive, craft knife, ruler. We are good to go. Okay, so first things first, let's put a lot of these to the side. We need to make our card bases. From 3 sheets of A4 cardstock, you will actually get 12 mini card bases. We've covered this before on YouTube. You can see I have a tutorial on making mini card bases in a couple of sizes, and of course today we're using the A4. So the first thing to do, there we go, we've got 2, and I'm going to skip to the next bit. So there we go, here's some I prepared earlier. We've got 12 little mini card bases here. And so our next step is to get cracking on the pattern paper. Now if you look at the front of your mini card, it measures 10.5 centimetres by 7.5 centimetres. To get a piece of pattern paper that's going to fit on the front of our card, leaving a nice little white border, if we cut them just a 1/2 centimetre smaller, so 10 centimetres by 7 centimetres, then that should be a good job. So I've cut a 10 centimetre strip there, and then I'm going to cut that down to 7. We should end up with 1/4 centimetre as a border all the way around. There we go. So from the 1 10 centimetre strip we've got 4, and on we go. Remembering sometimes when you have pattern paper, it isn't always strictly 30 centimetres by 30 centimetres. On this one we've got this little strip left over. Now we might be able to use it later, but it'll probably just go in the bin. And then we go cut out our 7 centimetre pieces again. Now we have all of our pattern paper cut out, it's time to get this piece ready here. Now for this one I'm going to use my craft knife. Sometimes I prefer the craft knife, sometimes I prefer the trimmer, and I'm just going to cut it because all the greetings are the same width, so we can cut our mat the same width. So I'm just leaving a little bit each side, and I am going by eye rather than measuring. There we go. Let's pop that to the side. So now I have a piece of plain cardstock that's going to fit all of our greetings. To do the greetings, it's just a matter of cutting them off, really. You could use your trimmer, you can use your blade, whichever you prefer. Just make sure that it just cuts it straight, and you leave a little bit of space so you're cutting equally between the greetings. And these ones are great. So we're going to have a whole set, a dozen cards here, and yes, they'll all look the same, but they'll all have different greetings, so you'll be able to use them for different occasions. And if there's one that there's a greeting that you're cutting off that you don't think suits, so for example, the next one here is with sympathy, and I'm not sure that a hot pink card is really the right colour for a sympathy card, so I'm just going to pop that one to the side, and I'll use that another time when I'm perhaps using a more sombre colour or maybe a tamer colour. So you just need to cut off as many as you need, and remember, check them before you cut them, because some of them, like this one, Warm Wishes, clearly those two go together. Now I have 12 of these great little greetings cut out. I'm just going to use my tape runner. You could use double-sided tape, of course, too. This is just to spare you watching me peel all the backings off. I'm going to place that so there's a nice even border all the way around, and I'm going to cut them as I go. You can stick them all down first and then cut them later, but I kind of like to cut them as I go to make sure I get the border right as I go. There we go. So we're going to continue on and get all of these greetings matted up and cut to size. Now these are all matted, it's simply a matter of assembly. So we're going to take one card base, one piece of pattern paper and one greeting, and we're going to pop them all together. Very easy. Adhesive, you want to make sure your spine is at the top. Pretty easy to match this up. You're going to have a little white border all the way around, just like that. Now where you put your greeting is entirely up to you. You might want to pop it in the middle, in a corner. You could turn the card on its side, middle, bottom, top. This one I'm going to put at the bottom. I've got an idea in my mind. Now on its own, that's actually quite a sweet little card. But if we wanted to upgrade, we could add things to this card. We could add die cuts, gems, pearls, stamped images, stamped and coloured images. If you're a Copic colourer like myself, you could mat up a cute little sticker, breathe a little life into that. You could use your punches. There are a whole lot of ways that you can dress this up, and what I want to show you is a set that I made a couple of days ago where I have done exactly that. Now this is the set I spoke of that I prepared earlier. Really, really simple pattern paper, greeting. This I printed on the computer, but I've got to say the word strip's so much faster. I've matted it on a simple piece of cardstock, and while that one's quite a nice card, I've then taken it a step further and I have double matted this greeting, so it's on yellow and white. For this one, I have inked around the greeting, the mat and the pattern paper, and it's got a little bit more of a softened edge. It's not quite so harsh. I took that inking a step further, and here we go with the well done. I've inked two mats and the greeting and the pattern paper and the card itself, so that's got a really lot more grungy feel to it. Then there are a few other things I wanted to show you. For this one, I've simply added some ribbon. That's it, that's all I've done, just a strip of ribbon, tucked it under the pattern paper before I stuck it down on the card front. For this one, I've used a border punch, so I've got this pretty lacy section at the front. I've also used an offcut of the pattern paper so that I could put that across a strip of the cardstock and then have the greeting on top of that. This one I got a little creative with corner punches, so you can see I've rounded the corners of the card just down the bottom where it opens, and I've also rounded the corners of the pattern paper. I have added some flowers and a brad and some ribbon just underneath. This one, well, this was more scraps. I had some of the cardstock left over and I had just one or two squares of the pattern paper, so I have done little corners, if you can see them there, little corners matted. So they're kind of like photo corners, just to give it a slightly different look. This one turned on its side and you can see there's a nice blingy gem. Just the pattern paper was in the right place, so I've added an adhesive gem into the center there, quite a big one. This one I've also turned on its side. I've added 4 really teeny tiny gems. You can see them sparkling a little bit there. Tiny little gems, one in each corner of the yellow mat, and I've put a piece of kind of a webbing ribbon underneath. I love that stuff. I do tend to use it quite a lot. Nearly finished. This one I have added a die cut that I think I picked it up at my local dollar shop, and I just had that room left on the top, so I've added that. A sticker would do the same thing, or perhaps a little creation you've made with your die cut machine. And last but not least, card number 12. I've done some serious matting, but I've also added some Kindy glitz. I've used my Martha Stewart crown punch, so I'm just trying to curve it there. You can see there's some sparkles on the tips of the crown and also around the white mat that is around the greeting there. So there you go. There's some ways that you can upgrade, use your supplies and make these cards a little bit more special. Here are my finished cards. I picked up these cute little die cuts actually at my local dollar shop, quite a large pack of them, and I had in mind to use them for mini cards. They're just right. You can see they're a little bit dimensional. I've popped them up on some double-sided foam tape just so they sit up off the card a little bit better. I really hope you enjoyed this mini card bonanza. If you like this video, please like it, and I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. You can find more information on dawnlewis.com.au, and if you've made some cards from this tutorial, please come over to Facebook and share some photos. I'd really love to see them. Have a great day.